you've got to stay ahead of the racetrack, and you got to stay ahead on adjustments. The 24 made an adjustment the wrong way, and it took them the wrong way on the racetrack. Now, with only 50 laps to go, they've got to recover from that mistake, because they are one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. But is there time left? Will they catch a caution? Will the cards, or will the game play out, or the race play out the way they need it to?
Denny Hamlin trying to put Kurt Busch a lap down. We'll see if he does it when we return. You're watching Sprint Cup Racing from Pocono. Debris on the Long Pond straightaway has brought out caution for the third time today here at Pocono at lap 154. Denny Hamlin leads this race. Kurt Busch, who had gone a lap down while we were away, will receive the free pass. Johnson, Burton, Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick, the top 5. Those 4 cars behind Denny Hamlin. Casey Kane, A.J. Allmendinger, Joey Logano, Clint Boyer, and Greg Biffle inside the top 10. Under caution, a pit stop late. Good opportunity to take a swing at it and see what you got.
Well, yeah, you almost got to get out of pit lane first.
Yeah, this is, you know, there they are picking up the debris on the racetrack. But this, you know, this changes Larry's strategy. Like Larry said, they were going to be 3 or 4 short. This changes that. But they're still going to work in another stop, because they've been stopping at 31 laps. So now the stops are going to come from 85, from 185 to 195, and that kind of range right there.
And any advantage those drivers had that it stretched it to 131, the Joe Gibbs drivers and Jeff Gordon, doesn't matter anymore.
Look, I don't think it does, but I don't know. Larry would know more than I would. Right. You know what I mean?
It would appear.
But yeah, mathematically, it looks like if we go off everything that Larry's told us and everything we've seen, from the Toyotas to the Chevys to the Fords to the Dodges coming down pit road, and when they pit, they're in the 133 to, or 131 to 133 lap range. If you say it's 155 and you add, that's a 188.
Here they come, Ralph.
Waiting for Jimmy Johnson. Chad Canals had asked him to start saving fuel about 7 laps ago. Jimmy's going to take 4 new tires and fill it up with fuel. Looks like a small chassis adjustment. He says the car's a little out of control on new tires, Matt, but then it starts to come in.
Harvick slides to a stop. They're going to put Harvick's pressures back to where it was 2 runs ago when his car was yarding the competition. He was one of those guys, Marty, that could have made it on 1 more stop had the caution not come out.
Matt, Denny Hamlin said the car just too tight to go early in the run. It's also tight late in the run, 3/4 of a round down on the right rear wedge bolt, trying to loosen it up just a little bit. His teammate Kyle Busch all the way at the end of pit road, a little bit tight center, and they take a half round on left rear. Denny Hamlin wins the race off pit road this time.
Hamlin doing the job on track. His crew answers the bell on pit road, and how about his teammate Kyle Busch picking up a couple of positions? He won the pole here on Friday, and the #1 pit stall paying dividends there. 45 to go at Pocono.
The Home Depot.
Back at the Pocono Raceway, under caution for the 3rd time today. 43 laps to go in this afternoon's event. Now we check in with Larry McReynolds for his rankings of today's fastest pit crew. Larry Mack talking about the guys who have got it done on pit road. Hey, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you look at that 11 car. I mean, they have won the battle off pit road several times. And honestly, when I look at Kyle Busch and that 18 group, there's several times they came in running 2nd and 3rd. A lot due to pit selection. They won the battle off pit road. And you know what? Our points leader, Kevin Harvick, that Gil Martin crew started back in the 22nd position. They have been solid as a rock all day long, sitting there in the top 5 at a racetrack that has not been that great to Kevin Harvick.
Along with Larry's vote, the fastest pit crew is determined by the winner of the race, the fastest pit time, and your vote at home. Be sure to text your vote to number 2258. That's 2258. And you can make your choice. The AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year Award, brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. Pit road was a busy place as they came in under caution. And an interesting time for Kevin Harvick as he made his exit.
It's always tight in the pits, like Kyle mentioned. This is probably our biggest pit lane out of all the racetracks we go. But you're still just almost running over your guys.
Wow.
Do you get to vote for the closest call?
That was the
He
closest
would
call.
win.
And the Jackman did exactly right. He just kept running. I mean, that's a bad part, because that way the driver has already committed.
Wait a minute.
No.
Do you think the driver's going to stop?
No, the driver's
You gotta
trying
keep
to.
running.
But how many times have you seen how many times have you seen a driver try to correct and a Jackman freeze? That's ugly too.
We told you Kurt Busch got the free pass. He's 24th. 9 drivers took the wave around, including David Rudiman, Casey Mears, Elliott Sadler, and David Reagan among those who are hoping for a quick caution. It's all Joe Gibbs Racing up front as we get set for the restart at lap 158. Hamlin, the leader, takes the inside lane.
Wow, I was going to say they were lined up pretty good down on the bottom, but then the 29 jumped out. Okay, and this is where you make up a lot of your time here, as we've seen before with Harvick and these guys when they go 4 wide. Ooh, Newman up. Oh, 83
Casey
in trouble.
Mears.
83 down.
Yep.
This is going to be interesting to me on this next restart, because 18 was on the outside, 11 was on the inside. On the previous restart, when the 11 took the lead, he started on the outside and drove around him on the outside. So that kind of surprised me when the 11 took the inside.
Yeah.
As, you know what I mean? Or
And
they
a
went
year
that way.
ago here,
Yeah.
it was the first time we had been under the double foul restart rule. And the leader chose the outside lane every time last year.
Yes.
What's a 29 now? I don't know what happened to the 31. It's almost like the 31 just went backwards all of a sudden, whether he had missed a shift or something. But then the 29, they saw some air and he went for it. Not sure what. We'll take a look and see what happened further in the back.
Casey Mears had just taken the wave around, and then this.
He got Sadler got into him.
Yeah. He just.
All the cars in that group actually had just taken the wave around.
Wow.
Watch Elliott Sadler. He's on the bottom. And you know, Casey Mears was coming to the bottom pretty quick there.
Back it down, stay low, all clear.
But really, in a way, Mears may have gotten some damage, a little bit of advantage for those guys running back in that part of the field, because they got the caution. They can come down and get their service. They clean up the debris of our 4th caution. We step aside. Kyle Busch scored as the race leader.
Welcome back to NASCAR Racing on TNT here from Pocono Raceway. Real quick, before we get to the race recap, we want to give you an update. We had Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart just come into pit on lap 160. Right now, your leader, Kyle Busch, but let's take a look at the highlight package from earlier today. You know, it was a rough day starting out. Wouldn't you say so, Larry?
We were just about to take the green flag, and you can see the black clouds there. It moved in, a lot of high wind, heavy rain. Only lasted, though, for about 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, it did, but then they had to wait a little bit because there was a hole in the track, what you see there, epoxy as you call it, right? Fixing it, getting it dry quickly. Finally, 3:06, they take the green flag. Drivers are ready to get back out there on this track. Then we go turn 3, though, Larry, giving a lot of drivers some headaches.
It's been the Achilles heel. You're coming off that corner. You're carrying so much speed. There you see David Rudiman, the 00. A lot of cars hit that turn 3 wall.
All right, Jimmy Johnson, he's 4th right now, but his day was not shaping up the way he wanted. Slow pit stop could have cost him some valuable time there.
But he qualified 25th. It didn't take him long to move toward the front.
Well, and then we go to a lead change. Denny Hamlin, who is so good at this racetrack, passes right by Kevin Harvick there. So we got Denny Hamlin, who's now 2nd in place. Kyle Busch right ahead of him, his teammate.
Now, this was our last caution. It just happened on 158. This is the first caution that we have had that was not a debris caution, or a caution that was actually brought out by NASCAR as they did on lap 15 after we had those hard rains at the beginning.
And we've only had 4 cautions, including that competition caution that they had on lap 15. That's not surprising to you, though, is it?
Well, it is not at a racetrack this big, you know, and I mean, these guys, they knew that we're going to be getting late in the evening, that we've got threatening weather, and it's like, you know, they're going to behave, but something tells me with about 39 laps to go, they're going to get both hands and feet up on that steering wheel now. Business going to pick up a little bit.
Now they're getting real serious. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere from Pocono Raceway. 161 laps of 200 in the books. Come back. He's back. back. Don't forget, we brought Race Buddy back for all the action, and this is the best part of the race for you to log on to NASCAR.com. Join Race Buddy. We're 162 laps through 200.